All right, let's dive in. Today we're jumping into a classic that honestly feels like it could have been written yesterday. It's a chapter from Charles Dickens' powerful novel, Hard Times. And we're about to take a journey right into the industrial heart of a place he calls Coketown.
So Dickens kicks things off with this amazing line. He's not just, describing a city. He's setting a keynote, like in music. It's this one dominant, gloomy sound that's going to color everything we see and hear from here on out. He's basically telling us, listen up, because the song of this city is harsh, it's repetitive, and it's the sound of the industrial age.
So the first thing you notice about Coketown, the colors are all wrong. It's a town of red and black, but it's unnatural. The brick isn't a warm, healthy red. Nope, it's this weird, ugly red that's been stained by all the soot and smoke. Dickens even says it looks like the painted face of a savage. What a powerful image, right? It's like industry just came in and scribbled all over nature.
And then there's the smoke. Oh, the smoke. It's not just smoke. Dickens describes it as these interminable serpents. Think about that for a second. Not just clouds of smoke, but endless snakes, twisting and coiling out of the chimneys, never ever stopping. They're alive, they're oppressive, and they literally define the air that everyone in this town has to breathe. You can just feel the suffocation. It's not just the air either. Even the water is totally corrupted. There's a river, but instead of, flowing with life, it's just this stinking channel for industrial waste. It literally runs purple from all the nasty dye being dumped into it. So you've got the foul air, the stained buildings, the poisoned water. Every single part of the natural world has been twisted into something ugly and toxic. It's a full-on assault on your senses. So you have to ask yourself, what on earth is the driving force behind all this ugliness? What's the operating system running this place? Because this kind of decay, it doesn't just happen by accident. No, it's the direct result of a very specific, very rigid philosophy. And it all comes down to one single, all-powerful idea: fact. And when we say fact is everything here, we mean everything. It infects both the physical world and, the human one. Look at the buildings. A church? No, that's just a pious warehouse of red brick. The jail? The hospital? They're all just identical, characterless blocks. Function over form, always. But it's even scarier when you see how it affects people. Schools only teach facts. The relationship between a boss and his workers? Purely a numbers game. From the moment you're born to the day you die, your life is just a series of data points. And this right here, this is basically their Bible verse. It's said almost like a prayer. The message is brutally simple. If you can't count it, if you can't put it in a chart or a spreadsheet, then it just isn't real. It shouldn't even exist. Think about what that means. Imagination, compassion, a sense of wonder, all those things that make us human. In Coketown, they have zero value. Literally, nothing. Amen. Okay, so you've got the city built on pure, cold, hard logic. A system designed for maximum efficiency. It should be perfect, right? A paradise of productivity, where everyone is happy and knows their place. Well, that's where we run into what you might call the Coketown paradox. Dickens himself asks the question, and you can just feel the sarcasm dripping off the page. A town so obsessed with facts, so convinced of its own genius, surely it got on well, right? I mean, of course it did. The logic is flawless. The people must be absolutely thriving. The answer? Nope, not even close. It's simple, it's brutal, and it tells you everything you need to know. This grand experiment in human engineering is a total bust. For all its precious facts and figures, something in Coketown is broken. Deeply, fundamentally broken. And here's the best part, the real irony. How do they know things are going wrong? More facts. The people in charge have all these charts and reports, what Dickens calls tabular statements, that prove with cold, hard data that the town is miserable. They can show you exactly how many people are drinking themselves to death, how many are addicted to opium, how many are getting into trouble. The system is fantastic at measuring its own failure, but it has absolutely no clue why it's failing. So what's the takeaway for the guys in charge, the Mr. Gradgrinds and Mr. Bounderbys of the world? It's simple. The system is perfect. The logic is sound. So, the problem must be the people. They're just a bad lot. They're ungrateful, restless, never happy. It's a classic case of blaming the victim, right? They see every single symptom of a sick society, but they are completely, utterly blind to the disease causing it.
All right, let's pull the camera back from that big citywide view and zoom right down to a single moment on a street corner. Because this one little encounter, it's like the whole conflict of Coketown playing out in miniature. It's two completely different ways of seeing the world colliding right in front of us.
On one side, you've got this young girl, Sissy Jupe. She grew up in a circus, a world of imagination, and her reaction to what's happening is all heart, all emotion. She says, "He frightened me with his cruel faces." She's not breaking it down logically. She's just telling you how she felt. She was scared. It's a fundamental human truth, and it's something the world of Coketown just doesn't have a category for. And who was chasing her? This kid named Bitzer. He's the star student from the School of Fact. And his explanation for his behavior is just mind-boggling. He says he was just trying to ask her for the definition of a horse. A pop quiz on the street. From his point of view, it was a simple exchange of information. He literally cannot compute why she would react with terror. It just doesn't make sense in his world. And then, to top it all off, the factory owner, Mr. Bounderby, weighs in, and his reaction is just ice cold. Sissy mentions her father is a circus performer and sometimes gets bruised. Bounderby's response? Serve 'em right for being idle. Just like that. No sympathy. No humanity. In his world, if you're not doing productive work, you're just wasting time, and any pain you feel is your own damn fault. It's the Coketown philosophy at its most brutal. So that little scene on the street corner, it's not just a small story. It's the whole story of Coketown in a nutshell, and it pushes us to ask a much bigger, much more important question. What exactly is missing here? What essential part of being human has been stamped out, ignored, and basically starved to death in this city? And this right here is the question that beats at the very heart of the novel. Is there something in us? Dickens calls it fancy, but you could call it imagination, creativity, wonder, play, that simply demands to exist. And if you build a world that tries to crush that thing, is that world doomed to fail? Not maybe, but inevitably? Will it always go wrong until you somehow repeal the very laws of human nature? Looking at the grim reality of Coketown, the answer seems pretty clear, leaving us to wonder, what is the real cost of a world built only on facts?